Hare Krishna, Har Har Mahadev. My dear viewers, for your kind information, I want to tell you that Sanātan Dharma means Vaishnava Dharma, and it is everlasting and eternal, means Nitya. There are two types of Vaishnava Dharma. One maintains that the Paratattva, known as Brahma, is formless and devoid of qualities. However, since there is no question of worshipping a formless object, spiritual practitioners, means Adhyatmic sadhakas, first imagine Brahma to have some form and then they worship that. This worship is only needed to purify the heart. And when the heart is purified, knowledge of that formless Brahma arises. At that point, there is no longer any need to continue the worship of forms. The forms of Radha Krishna, Rama, or Nrsimha are all imaginary and byproducts of Maya. When one worships this imaginary form, knowledge of Brahma gradually awakens. Among worshippers of 5 deities, technically it is called Panchopasaka. They worship Surya, Ganapati, Durga, Vishnu, etc. Those who worship the deity of Vishnu and recite Vishnu mantras with this attitude consider themselves as Vaishnavas. In the second type of Vaishnava Dharma, Bhagavan Vishnu, Ram, or Krishna are accepted as Param Brahma, possessing eternal forms. When the sadhaka worships one of these particular forms with the corresponding mantras, he obtains eternal knowledge of the specific deity whom he worships and receives the mercy of that deity. According to this view, the doctrine of impersonalism is Mayavad, which is a misconception that Adi Shankaracharya has propagated. In these two types of Vaishnava Dharma, the second of these is the real Vaishnava Dharma, and it is Swashat, means eternal. The other one is Vaishnava Dharma in name only. In reality, that pseudo Vaishnava Dharma is completely opposed to real Vaishnava Dharma or Sanātan Dharma. It is temporary and has originated from Mayavad doctrine. Now my viewers can understand that the only true Vaishnava Dharma or Sanātan Dharma is the doctrine that we have received from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The real Vaishnava devotees do not accept that the worship of Radha Krishna, Ram, or Nrsimha constitutes Vaishnava Dharma in and of itself. They only accept the worship of Radha Krishna or other deities as Vaishnava Dharma if it is conducted in accordance with the ideology of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This type of Vaishnava Dharma is taught throughout the Vedic scriptures and is instructed in all Smriti Shastras. All the Vedic histories sing the glories of this Vaishnava Dharma, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the pioneer of this doctrine, which is eternal, means Sanātan. This Vaishnava Dharma has been in existence from the very moment of the Jiva's appearance. The Jivas or Jivatmas are Anadi, means beginningless, because they have no beginning in the material time. Therefore, the constitutional function of the Jivas, known as Jaiva Dharma or Vaishnava Dharma or Sanātan Dharma, is also Anadi. Brahma is the first Jiva to take birth in the universe. As soon as he appeared, the Vedic sound vibration, which is the basis of Vaishnava Dharma, also became manifest. This is recorded in the 4 essential slokas of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Slok number 33 to 36, known as the Chatuh Sloki. It is also mentioned in the Mundak Upanishad 1.1.1. ब्रह्मा देवानां प्रथमः शम्बभुव विश्वस्य कर्ता भुवनस्य गुप्ता स ब्रह्म विद्यां सर्वविद्या प्रतिष्ठां अथर्वाय ज्येष्ठ पुत्राय प्राह. Meaning, Brahma, who is the first of all the demigods and who appeared from the lotus that sprouted from the navel of Bhagavan Vishnu, is the creator of the universe and the maintainer of all living entities. He imparted Brahma Vidya, means spiritual knowledge, which is the basis for all other knowledge, unto his eldest son Atharva. Again, in the Rig Veda Samhita 1.22.20 mentions the instructions of this Brahma Vidya. Tad Vishnoho paramam padam sada pasyanti surayah diviva chakshuratatam. Meaning, the Jnani Janas, means pure Vaishnavas, always behold the supreme abode of Bhagavan Sri Vishnu, just as the unobstructed eye sees the sun within the sky. It is stated in the Katha Upanishad 1.3.9, Vishnor Jat Paramam Padam, meaning only the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Vishnu is the highest attainment. The Shvetasvatara Upanishad 5.4 says, Sarva Disha Urdham Adhasya Tirjak Prakasayan Bhrajate Jad Banadwan Evam Sha Devo Bhagavan Varenyo Yoni Sambhavan Adhitishtati Ekaha. Meaning, Bhagavan is the Supreme Person and the original source of all the demigods. He is the supreme object of worship and is one without a second. Just as the sun shines radiantly, illuminating all directions, upwards, downwards, and on all sides, so Bhagavan regulates material nature, which is the origin of all different species of life. Again, in Taittiriya Upanishad 2.1.2, it is stated, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman Shasnute Sarvan Kaman Shaha Brahmana Vipaschita. Meaning, Paratattva Brahma is the embodiment of truth, knowledge and eternity. Although that Parabrahma is situated in the spiritual sky, he is hidden in the sky of the hearts of all living entities. One who knows that Ishvara, who is situated within as the indwelling super soul, means Paramatma, attains the consummation of all his desires in contact with that all-knowing Ishvara. Now, if someone asks, Tad Vishnoho Paramam Padam, means they see the supreme abode of Vishnu. How can you say that this does not refer to the Vaishnava Dharma that is included in the Mayavad doctrine? The answer is, the Vaishnava Dharma that is included within the scope of Mayavad rejects the conception of eternal servitorship to Bhagavan. The Mayavadis believe that when the sadhaka acquires knowledge, he attains the status of Brahma, means he himself becomes Brahma. However, where is the question of service if one becomes Brahma? It is said in Katha Upanishad 1.2.23 that Nayam Atma Pravachanana Labhyo Na Medhaya Na Bahuna Srutena Yam Evaisha Brunute Tena Labhyas Tasyaisha Atma Vibrunute Tanum Swam. Meaning that Paramatma Param Brahma cannot be attained by delivering learned discourses, by applying one's intelligence, or even by hearing the Vedas extensively. That Paramatma is attainable only by one upon whom he bestows his mercy. Since that Paramatma is very close by, he reveals his own form. So, my dear friends, only true religion is the constitutional function of service and surrender. There is no other means to attain Bhagavan's mercy and thus see his eternal form. My dear friend, please remember, Bhagavan is not under the jurisdiction of your intelligence. So knowledge of Brahma will not enable one to attain darshan of Bhagavan's eternal form. We can understand from this categorical Vedic statement that pure Vaishnava Dharma is founded upon the Vedas. All the Vedas sanction the Vaishnava Dharma that Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught. There is no room for doubt in this regard. Someone may ask, is there any statement in the Vedas to the effect that Krishna bhajan and not realization of Brahma Gyan is the highest attainment? The answer is, it is said in Taittiriya Upanishad 2.7.1, Rasho Vaishaha means Krishna is the embodiment of Rasa, means divine Milo. Besides, the Chandogya Upanishad 8.13.1 states, Shyamat Chavalam Prapadye, Shavalat Shyamam Prapadye, meaning by service to Krishna, one attains the transcendental abode of divine bliss, which is full of wonderful pastimes. And by reaching that transcendental abode of wonders, one attains Krishna. It is also said in the Rig Veda 1.22.164 and 31. Apashyam Gopam Anipadyamanama. I saw Krishna, who is born in a dynasty of Gopas and who is imperishable. There are many statements in the Vedas that refer specifically to Krishna, who appeared as the son of a Gopa. Gopa means cowherd man. Someone may say Krishna's name is not clearly mentioned in any of these statements. This is simply your contrived interpretation. My dear friend, the answer is, if you study the Vedas carefully, you will see that they have used this type of indirect statements in relation to every topic. The sages and acharyas of old have explained the meaning of all these statements, and we should have the highest regard for their opinions. The appearance of Vaishnava Dharma is concurrent with the origin of the Jivatma. Lord Brahma was the first Vaishnava. Lord Shiva is also a Vaishnava, as are all the progenitors of mankind. Sri Narada Muni, who was born from the mind of Brahma, is also a Vaishnava. This clearly verifies that Vaishnava Dharma is not a recent development, but has been prevalent from the very beginning of creation. Not all living entities are free from the influence of the three modes of nature, and the superiority of a high-class Vaishnava will depend on the degree to which he is free from the modes of material nature, means Satagun, Rajagun and Tamagun. The Mahabharata, Ramayana and the Puranas are the histories of the Aryan civilization, and they have all described the excellence of Vaishnava Dharma. We have already seen that Vaishnava Dharma was present at the beginning of creation. Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj were both pure Vaishnavas. During their time, there are many thousands of other Vaishnavas whose names are not given anywhere in history because only the most prominent have been mentioned. Dhruv Maharaj was the grandson of Manu, and Prahlad Maharaj was the grandson of Prajapati Kashyap. Prajapati means progenitors. And they both lived close to the beginning of history. Later, the kings of the solar and lunar dynasties, as well as the great Munis and Rishis, were intently devoted to Sri Vishnu. There is extensive mention of Vaishnava Dharma in the three previous ages, known as Satya, Treta and Dwapara Yugas. Even in the present age of Kali Yuga, The age of quarrel, Sri Ramanujacharya, Sri Madhvacharya, Sri Vishnu Swami in southern Bharat and Sri Nimbaditya Swami in western Bharat initiated many thousands of disciples into pure Vaishnava Dharma. By their mercy, perhaps half the population of Bharat crossed the ocean of Maya and attained shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Vishnu. Also, just consider how many downtrodden and degraded people Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered in the land of Bengal as well as in Bharat. So, any sober and sane Sanatani Hindu can easily perceive the greatness of Vaishnava Dharma. But unfortunately, due to wrong fabricated history written by evil-minded Britishers and alien Muslim jihadis, Hindus have misguided and forgotten their real Sanātan Dharma. They are also mentally chained by modern political prostitutes and fake, ignorant, evil-minded, so-called modern yoga gurus. The truth is that one cannot understand the underlying essence of the Shastras without impartial and minute investigation. If someone asks, as you say, Vaishnava Dharma has been in perpetual existence, then what new insight did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reveal for which he should be given special regard? My dear friend, the answer is Vaishnava Dharma is like a lotus flower which gradually comes into bloom when the time is ripe. First, it appears as a bud and then it slowly begins to blossom. In its maturity, it is fully blossomed and attracts all jivatmas by diffusing its sweet fragrance in every direction. At the beginning of creation, four aspects of knowledge were expressed to Brahma through the medium of the Chatushloki Bhagavatam. They were number one, Bhagavata Gyan means transcendental knowledge of the absolute truth as Bhagavan. Number two, Maya Vigyan, analytical knowledge of Ishwara's external potency, Maya Shakti. Number three, sadhana bhakti, the means of attaining the supreme goal. And number four, prema, divine love of God, which is the object of attainment. These four elements were manifested in the Jiva's heart as the sprout of the lotus flower of Vaishnava Dharma, means Sanātana Dharma. At the time of Prahlad Maharaj, this sprout took shape as a bud, which gradually began to blossom in the period of Vedavyasa Muni and developed into a flower at the time of Sri Ramanujacharya, Sri Madhvacharya and the other Sampradayas. Upon the appearance of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vaishnava Dharma became the fully blossomed flower of divine love and began to attract the hearts of all Jivatmas by spreading its enchantingly sweet fragrance. The supremely confidential essence of Vaishnava Dharma is the awakening of divine love, Bhagavat Prem. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu created the good fortune for all Jivas by distributing their divine love or Bhagavat Prem through the chanting of Sri Harinama Mahamantra, means Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sri Nama Sankirtan is a priceless possession worthy of the highest regard. Did anyone reveal this teaching prior to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? The answer is no. Although this truth existed in the Shastras, there was no radiant example of it that could inspire the ordinary Jivatmas to practice it in their own lives. Indeed, before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had anyone ever distributed the milo of divine love in this way even to common men? Again the answer is no. This is the reason why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is given special regard. Now, my dear viewers, if you ask me, if Kirtan is so beneficial, then why do learned Panditas or so-called modern yoga gurus do not hold it in high esteem? My answer is, The meaning of the word Pandit has become perverted in the present age of Kali. Panda means the intelligence of one who is enlightened by knowledge of the Vedic Shastra. And the word Pandit really refers to one who has such intelligence. These days, however, people are known as Panditas if they can show off their veins of history in the Nyaya Shastra or explain the meaning of the Smruti Shastra in noble ways that appeal to people in general or simply do some karmakanda rituals. How can such Panditas understand or explain the meaning of Dharma and the true purport of the Vedic scriptures? That can only be realized by impartial analysis of all the Shastras very carefully. So how can anyone obtain it through the intellectual wrangling of Nyaya Shastra? Or by people who are just licking the feet of political prostitutes or rich men to establish their religious shopping malls? I mean so-called religious ashramas. The truth is that in Kali Yuga, those who are known as Panditas or Yoga Gurus are expert at deceiving themselves and others by arguing uselessly. Assemblies of such so-called Panditas or religious gurus engage in heated debates in TV shows or other public events over inconsequential matters, but they never ever discuss knowledge of ultimate reality, knowledge of the Jivatma's relationship with the absolute truth, the supreme goal for the Jivas, or the method for attaining that goal. One can only understand the real nature of divine love and chanting of the holy name of the Supreme Lord when he discerns the truth of these matters. In India, 98% of the so-called religious or yoga gurus are operating like underworld dons or religious mafias. I personally am a victim of this dangerous situation. Many well-known religious organizations, with the help of corrupt politicians, have tried to assassinate me in many occasions. So, considering all these things, we can understand that it is not so easy to understand the real Vedic science or Sanātan Dharma. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please watch the part 3. Har Har Mahadev.